David here with Figboot on Pens, back again with another fountain pen review. Today I have for you a brand new release from Narwhal, which is exclusively available through Goldspot Pens, who were kind enough to send this pen along for review. The pen is in the Nautilus line and is called the Horsehead Nebula. What I'm going to do today is cover the parts and features of this colorful offering, talk about what I care for and what I don't care for about it. I'll show some measurements, size comparisons, and provide a writing sample. It has been fun over the last couple of years to see the progression of the Narwhal brand. Their first models were more of like an entry-level piston filler, and they've progressed to include several additional designs, as well as their luxury brand, Ikaku. Actually have a very intriguing and eye-catching offering from Ikaku, which I will be reviewing very soon, so be on the lookout for that. Who knows, I might give you a sneak peek during the size comparisons. The pen arrives in this standard Narwhal box, and inside there is a use and care guide, and we have the pen. Let's get this out here. This is the Narwhal Nautilus Horsehead Nebula. It's made from a colorful resin from Starry Night Resins. At least the one behind the Starry Night brand is based out of Texas. This pen has a very nice combination of oranges and blues and purples. You can even see some sparkles in there to represent stars. I feel the pen does a really good job of representing its namesake, the Horsehead Nebula, which is a small dark nebula very close to the Orion's Belt constellation. In the most basic of terms, a dark nebula is a type of interstellar cloud. With its unique shape, you can see how it really got its name, the Horsehead Nebula, since it indeed resembles the head of a horse. It's only about 1,400 light years from Earth. The red color originates from ionized hydrogen in the area behind the nebula. The size and vastness of outer space is mind-boggling. This nebula here is around 3.5 light years across. Light travels at about 6 trillion miles a year, and the fastest spacecraft we have today can travel at a little bit over 300 million miles in a year, which means that it would take about 65,000 years just to travel the radius of the nebula. And we're not even taking into account the 26 million years it would take for you to even get to the location in space in the first place. So if you would care to visit this nebula, I would suggest you leave sooner rather than later. 26 million years is quite a long road trip. Okay, let's take a look at the parts and features of this pen. The very end is rounded, and on the end it has a gold-colored insert. Then we have the clip. It's a semicircle. It is a bit on the stiff side, but I still find it to be functional in a variety of materials. The cap is straight, and then there is a gold-colored band. On the band is the company name. Now, they must have had quite the inventory of these bands because the company changed the spelling of their name around 1.5 years ago. There is a fairly small step down from the cap to the barrel. The barrel begins with one of my favorite features of this Nautilus model, which are the trio of porthole ink windows, which do a good job of letting you know your ink situation. The barrel is straight and then concludes with a piston knob, and at the end of that knob it is rounded. The cap twists off in 2 rotations, and underneath we have an in-house number 6 stainless steel nib. I like the stamped logo here, but then again, this is the company's older logo. The newer one, introduced with that name change in 2022, has more of a stylized narwhal imagery. And here's a look at the plastic feed. The section is resin and begins with a slight flare before angling up until you reach the threads and a small step up to the remainder of the barrel. This section is a decent length, so it'll be able to accommodate a wide variety of grip styles. I find it to be very well balanced. Sometimes with piston fillers like this, the internals of the piston mechanism are here in the back, so sometimes piston fillers can feel a bit back-weighted, and I don't feel that way about the Nautilus model. It feels nice and well balanced in the hand. The cap is not designed to post. And I like that there's no question about it not posting. I dislike it when a cap like kind of fits on the end, leaving you to wonder if it is or isn't designed to post. I had made reference to the piston knob. This is indeed a piston filler. I find the piston to be smooth and operates nicely. I'm not going to twist it right now. The pen is inked up, but it has a decent ink capacity as well. The Narwhal Nautilus Horsehead Nebula is only available at Goldspot Pens and retails for $160. This is one of those pens that I like better, knowing the inspiration behind the resin. I feel it does a really good job of capturing the look and feel of that nebula in deep space. The Nautilus is one of my favorite Narwhal designs. It just feels really solid. And as you'll see in the writing sample, the in-house Narwhal nib performs nicely as well. Thanks again. Go out to the good folks at Goldspot for providing this pen for review. I will put a link in the notes below where you can check this pen out on their site. I will be posting this right after the pen launches, so if you are seeing this, the pen has officially launched and is available to purchase. Okay, now it is time for some measurements, size comparisons, and the aforementioned writing sample. So here we go with the size comparisons for the Narwhal Nautilus Horsehead Nebula. I wanted to give you another closer look at this resin. I really like this, especially down in this area here, how it transitions from the blues to the purples to some blues again. And you can kind of see in here the shimmering stars. And so I think that Starry Nat Resin did a really good job in portraying this theme. And in regard to what it looks like with a couple of other Narwhal pens, this was a Narwhal Original, which was one of the first pens that they produced. And then we had the Original Plus. This one was a piston filler, and then this one was a vacuum filler. And then we have one of the more recent releases, which is the Horizon, which has an interesting kind of waved band there, as you see. But that's what it looks like in comparison to the others. In regard to a couple of other Goldspot exclusives, this is what it looks like with a Leonardo Momento Zero Foresta Umbra, which Goldspot came out with a while ago. I'm not sure if they still have these available or not, or if they're sold out. If they're not sold out, I recommend taking a look at those as well. Also, another Goldspot exclusive was this Sailor Pro Gear, and this was called the Blue Cobra, which again was one of my favorite Pro Gear models, and if they still have some available in stock, I'd recommend checking that out. I did mention I have a review of an Ikaku model coming out fairly soon, and this is what it looks like. This is the Ikaku Pen Long. It is used using the Chinken technique. I'm not going to go into too much details on here, but all of this is hand engraved, and it has the symbolism of the dragon. Where's the dragon's head? It just really coils around here. There's the dragon's head. You can kind of get a look at it here. But I look forward to sharing this pen with you and telling you all about it. And that's what it looks like in comparison to the Nautilus. So here we have the Narwhal. And this is the Nautilus. Horsehead Nebula. This is a medium stainless steel nib, and the ink that I'm using is, this is Krishna Jungle Volcano. This is what the ink looks like. It's a nice kind of subtle red with some brown kind of sheening and kind of gold shimmer to it. It's really nice. This is what it looks like in regard to Van Diemen's Queenstown Gold Mine, as well as SBRE Brown, which is a little bit more on the browner side. Both of these are a little bit more brown compared to the red. I do believe that SBRE Brown ink is available again. So if you don't have any of that, that's something I would recommend. It's a nice lighter brown ink. And here we go with the rest of the writing sample. These in-house nibs from Narwhal are very nice. They don't have a lot of line variation in here. You can get a little bit. You have to push it a little bit hard in order to get that. But I do find that they perform very nicely. In regard to ink flow, I feel that it's kind of on the medium side. In regard to reverse writing, it's actually very smooth. And it lays down a nice extra fine line there. And then in regard to some fast writing, the feed keeps up very well. So there we have the Narwhal Nautilus Horsehead Nebula. I am a fan of this model. Like I said, I think that it incorporates the theme nicely, and I like the coloration. Now, the coloration is going to vary on every single model. That's just the nature of this resin. But I think that there's enough variation within the colors here that just about any variation you receive is going to look really, really sharp as well. So I'll put a link in the notes below where you can check these out on the Goldspot site. Until next time, thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you later.